Hi everybody, Adam Steele from Hot Pole Studios here, and today we are checking out in some depth the new X-Vibe pedal from IK Multimedia. It's part of their new Amplitube X Gear series, which are these hardware units that can do all sorts of clever stuff. There's the drive one, there's the delay one, reverb one, and the modulation one. And the one that I have to demo for you today is the modulation one, the X-Vibe. It's a really cool unit. I got to play with it pre-production at 42 Gear Street at Henning Pauli's place, and now I can do a super in-depth dive. It's got this librarian app so you can save your presets and change it all digitally. It can actually be used inside Amplitube itself as well, and I think you can transfer the presets between them, but we will confirm that now. Let's head over to Studio B, where we're going to dive in depth. Hi everybody, Adam Steele here, and today I am running the X-Vibe pedal, and I'm running it through a stereo pair of DI boxes into Reaper into Amplitube. And so I've got the EQ on the pedal. Let's set that to just about 0, because we can always play with that later. And we're running that through a stereo pair of Marshall JCM 800s with all set the same. So without the pedal, it sounds like this through my trusty PRS Tremonti, which is a gorgeous guitar. Oh, but it sounds like this. And it sounds like it's in mono, but that's because the amps are dialed identically. You put identical on both sides, it sounds like mono. Then you do something like this. And that's the chorus 80, and it sounds huge. It's instantly got that big Queen kind of that thing. It's got that, and I'm probably going to get a copyright hit for that, sorry. But it's got that massive sound. That's the chorus 80. And of course we can EQ that and take the mids away. And the same with the bass and with the treble. I probably wouldn't touch the EQ controls on there unless the particular tone of the sound is affecting the tone of the overall guitar in a negative way, which can happen with some sounds, but the fact that you can accommodate for that there is really cool. Let's just turn that down for a sec. If I switch to my neck pickup with a bit less gain, I can do that real 80s. I wish I had a wider angle camera so you could see what I was playing on guitar here, but the point stands that this is into typical, like I said, Marshall territory, where I've just got a low output humbucker in the neck of the Tremonti, which you can see lots of fingerprints on, and with not killing the output, we get that, and then I switch to full on humbucker and hit it. Sounds pretty good. And again, yeah, I'm running Amplitube because I just want to keep the theme relevant, but this sounds, in my experience, this pedal sounds really good through any of the hardware amps that are behind me. But I wanted to give you a stereo demo through something that I can switch. Also, before we dive into the different models that are on here, I'm going to turn it off again. And I'm going to show you this, because in the pedal section of Amplitube, if you buy the hardware, you get this. So I've been running Amplitube like that this whole time, so I'm just going to put that in post. But before these two amps, I've got this, which is the Chorus 80, the fresh preset, which is exactly what we had running. So now the actual hardware is bypassed, and listen to this. And on the neck, and that sounds pretty much identical. I might actually have, I can see how the mids and treble are really pushed here, and I've neutralized them. So that will probably sound more like what I had on the pedal. And that now sounds pretty much identical. And so you can use any of the settings that are on the hardware in the software here. And what you can do with that is once you've made a preset that you're really happy with, you can save the settings. So I can go to File and Save, and I can save presets. This is in a folder where I've been working, but let's just say that I find somewhere. Let's look in my Documents folder and just save this as fresh new. Save that. There we go. So I've got fresh new. Now what I can do, I'm going to disable this again. Bypass. There we go. So that's now off again in software. And I'm going to open the X-Gear Librarian. Now I've connected the X-Vibe by USB here, and you can see in the Librarian software that it's come up. So if I just give that a click, that'll take a minute to load because it's now loading all the presets and everything off the pedal, because if you've changed anything while you've been out at rehearsal, out on tour, it'll then catch up and copy all that across and make sure that it's got your presets and not just the default. And there we are. So this is now enabled on the hardware as fresh. Now, where it says local library, I can go to a directory by clicking on that, and right. So let's just see if I can import something. So from my Documents folder, which I'm just going to open over here, I'm going to drop fresh new. I'm going to copy that fresh new into my presets folder, which I appreciate you can't see that, but I just want to make sure I don't put anything that is under NDA on the screen. But I've put that in the local library folder, called it fresh new, and there we go. By hitting refresh, that's in the folder. Fresh new. I'm going to drag and drop that on top. Overwrite fresh new. There it is. And now on the hardware, we can see the fresh new, or fresh ni, because it's cut off. But there we go. And in the Librarian, you can show just the presets that are stored on your computer for a particular model, so that you can whittle it right down, drag and drop those as you see fit. And of course, doing this with a mouse is way quicker. If you've got a show and you want to have these two sounds for this song, these two sounds for this song, these two sounds for this song, you can reorder them, drag and drop them into the right place as needed. So having a Librarian software is always good. But getting back to the different models, let's start here. Make sure the depth is at a reasonable amount, speed is at a reasonable. So the speed on this is actually to a beat. So we can tap that. Let's go from chorus 80 to chorus 1, which I'm sure is like a bossy one. Now that sounds huge to me. A lot of the models have extra parameters, which if we click the left button, most of them just have mid-Q, mid-frequency, which are to do with the mid EQ if there's a particular notch you need to notch out, or if there's anything you want to boost particularly on that preset. And then there's mix, which is just you can go crazy with the effect and then blend a little bit of it in. In fact, let's do that. That effect is now a bit much, but if we get the mix and we click that and turn down the mix till it's more like, I don't know, 40%. That's more useful, I find, with things like tremolo, if the tremolo ducking all the way out isn't what you're after, but we'll get to that. Let's look at chorus X. This one sounds right down the middle. Turn the speed down. Turn the depth down. What changed then? Because I didn't change that. That's weird. Let's just close the librarian because that might be... That sounds huge. Now, 60s vibe. Let's have a look at the parameters for this. There's mode. Because, of course, a Univibe has chorus and vibrato modes. Very much reminds me of Porcupine Tree, that kind of vibe sound. And it sounds really quite close to a real Univibe. Phase 90. Nice and subtle, but it's definitely there. Phase of 10's way more obvious. Of course, I'm trying not to veer too hard into just playing too many covers. Phaser CL. Very psychedelic. CL, small clone, maybe? Yeah, all right. The Fox. What does the Fox do? That sounds weird. I love it. Definite Incubus vibe from a small stone. Love it. Let's look at the electric. What must be the electric mistress? Yeah, it's got quite a peaky kind of thing going on in there, which I would probably EQ out a little bit, but that electric mistress sound is just iconic. Of course, I'm playing on humbuckers here, so that doesn't sound right, but it's that sound, and it's a very good version. Now, the doubler, I tried the doubler before, and it really appealed to me, that kind of... I think the settings were a bit high there. That sounds really wrong. Let's just see if we can find a preset with the doubler in it. That's a really interesting effect, let's put it that way. What's on metallic? I can see that being used in that kind of tri-chorusy, Def Leppard-y kind of big sound. Now, Rotary, let's go. Very cool with the Rotary. There must be a way, I think it's with the external control, to go faster and slower with that. And I can hear it ramping up and ramping down like a real Leslie speaker would. Very nice. Let's try the tremolo. this one's got a parameter, for the envelope and for the wave because of the stereo-ness. There's kind of cool. So you can do that Boulevard of Broken Dreams thing in full stereo, which is nice. Turn your tap speed up. Yeah, really nice. Step slice is always cool. And the step filter, of course, is like that, but with more of a random drawing. The best example I can think of for that is Throw Away Your Television by Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was also kind of a random thing with different chords. But yeah, the fact that that's in there is very cool. And the fact that I can save these presets, move them over to Amplitube, and vice versa means that, like, I could leave this pedal in lockup at the practice room. I mean, you should always make sure your belongings are carefully looked after. But then I could play with the sounds on the unit here, and then bring the laptop, transfer all the sound settings that I've developed at home, and go. And things like that. Really, really useful for productivity. So yeah. Hope that you enjoyed this little overview of what the X-Vibe can do. And back to me in the studio. Hope you enjoyed this, everybody. Thanks for watching. Big thanks to the patrons for supporting the channel, because you guys really do help to keep the lights on and keep this going. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. We've got so much more coming up on the channel. It's incredible. And thank you, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Hey everyone, that might be the end of the video, but if you fancy carrying on this conversation, we have a Discord server, link is in the description. We're also on Patreon, which is something you can really help us with. We also are on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Hot Pole Studios. See you there.